Alright, so this past week, Halo Campaign Evolved came out as the newest addition in the Halo franchise. And I'm currently playing through it right now, and I'm generally having a good time with my initial playthrough of the game. And I've noticed there's been a lot of really mixed reactions from everyone who are new to Halo or the diehard old Halo fans. It seems to me, with the three new bonus missions that 343 Halo Studios created themselves, there is an overall disdain and dislike for these missions, which really got me thinking and inspired to make this video because I've noticed that no matter what it seems 343 slash Halo Studios tries to do, they just cannot stop underperforming expectations. I think it's quite unprecedented to see a studio that time and time again has failed, delivered products that the consumers just don't want, and game after game, everyone is left just disappointed. And we're coming up on 20 years of 343 Halo Studios having the Halo franchise. And in that 20-year period, I can't think of really a time where they've shined and have not let people down. Roughly a year ago, 343 announced their rebrand into Halo Studios, and with it, they kind of showed us this epic video of Master Chief, the new environments, and all the people who are working on the game, kind of their thoughts on how to turn a new page in the Halo franchise. And part of that was this transfer over into Unreal Engine. And all the developers really got on the screen. They explained to us that it's going to be a lot easier for them to make Halo games in Unreal Engine because the old engine is kind of hard to teach people to use, and it's just overall hard to develop on. So it's kind of pitched as this way for games to come out to consumers faster and just be overall easier to develop and teach people how to use Unreal Engine, develop on Unreal Engine, or even hire people who are specialized in Unreal Engine. And this first game, Halo Campaign Evolved, which is a remake of Halo CE, or the first Halo game, was supposed to be really a showcase of this transition into Unreal Engine. And I think it was also supposed to show us what we can expect for the next mainline Halo title, Halo 7 or whatever they're going to call it. And so really going into this release, I was highly anticipating not really the story or the bonus missions or anything like that, but how the game is going to play in this new engine and just how the overall environments are going to look. Unfortunately, upon playing this game, all the copium, all the hopium that I had for this new rebrand, this new page in the 343 Halo Studios lifespan is just completely gone. From the shiny futuristic walls that Halo Studios thinks is Forerunner, to the many bugs and graphical tears, to the poorly voice acted and directed cutscenes. Unfortunately, Halo Studios was not able to remake this game in a way that matches, even marginally, the original masterpiece. And this seems like very in line with a lot of what I've seen lately in almost all modern major gaming franchises. Gaming companies spend a lot of time telling us what they cannot do and what we can't have, rather than giving us the experience that built childhoods and franchises. In Halo Infinite, it was no split screen multiplayer, no Slayer playlists on launch, no multiplayer progression outside a battle pass, and armor cores that lock colors to specific armors. And it just seems that 343 Halo Studios is not capable of delivering an exciting experience. They are only capable of delivering disappointment after disappointment. And the excuses are many. Instead of creating one firmware copy in a time where technology is vastly superior than that of 2001, we are told a 4-player split screen is impossible. We have to settle for 2. Disappointing. You may want to play some of the classic multiplayer Halo 1 maps like Blood Gulch or Sidewinder in the new engine. Well, we can't do that either, not even locally, because that's too hard. The campaign is all we're focused on. Disappointing. And the 3 prequel missions that give background into the Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson's relationship. How can you mess this up? Well, add a character that has the same exact personality as the much beloved She-Hulk. That's sure to work, right? No. And once again, disappointing. And what makes matters even worse is that this was the first Halo game on PlayStation. All this time, PlayStation fans have been hearing about how great Halo was, how amazing of a franchise it was that really held up an entire platform that is Xbox. Yet, if they play this game, which is meant to be the pinnacle of all the Halo games, the first one that started all the hype, I think they're going to think we were blowing smoke this entire time. They're going to inevitably end up, and say it with me, disappointed. And honestly, I can't blame them. I don't know if we're really ever going to get back to the pinnacle of Halo, the golden era of Halo. And as the years go on, I'm starting to lose hope and frankly interest in the Halo franchise. But also I'm starting to realize that the world that Halo was created in and really for is gone. In the past 20 something years, a lot in the world has changed. And a lot of people's perspectives on things have changed. And I think Halo is really a game for its time. In the post 9/11 world in America, a lot of these religious themes, such as, the Covenant wanting to launch the Halo ring kind of in a jihad style way, was very prevalent to everyone's minds because we just experienced it with 9/11. And Halo 2, when you go down to Earth in Cairo, you're fighting in a city that looked a lot like Fallujah and the stuff that you would see on the news. And that doesn't mean that Halo 1, 2, and 3 are bad in today's time period. I still think the games hold up 20 years later, I think they're all great games, which is the fundamental difference between game developers back then and game developers now. It feels like a lot of game developers now feel like it's their moral duty to lecture us or teach us about their enlightened views on the world in a not so subtle way and in a very direct way, rather than telling it through the story. I think this is best exemplified through the characters that everyone hates in gaming. And namely, this character that they released in the bonus missions. And that is an ODST named Lieutenant Williams. Now, aside from the character just not being good design, I think that her personality is incredibly annoying because it demeans Master Chief, first of all. It's not in the tone of the universe, and it's just flat out poor dialogue.
Not bad, Spartan. I'm almost starting to believe the propaganda.
Ugh. Shut up.
Now, I get that they're trying to show some sort of rivalry between the ODSTs and the Spartans, but it seems to me the time to say these things and the time to have this rivalry isn't in the middle of a mission on a Covenant ship. If I, for one, were in Afghanistan or Iraq, I don't think I'd really care about any sort of rivalry I have with anyone else when I'm getting shot at or I'm in a very dangerous situation. Another scene that I've seen going around social media is where you see Lieutenant Williams sitting on a group of corpses of brutes while Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson walk in. I'm kind of thinking, like, if this was real life, if we were in a military, in the US military or something, and we were fighting in Iraq or something, and I kill a bunch of Taliban or Al-Qaeda members, and I go and I kind of sit on their corpses and parade their deaths, that's kind of messed up. And I think Sergeant Johnson and Master Chief would feel some type of way about that because it's kind of like dishonoring the dead, which really isn't the tone of the first games at all. Even in Halo 2, they acknowledge I wouldn't say humanity because they're not human, but they recognize the sentience of the Covenant. And eventually, in Halo 3, the Covenant elites are trying to help Master Chief and the Arbiter not fire the rings, not start the Great Journey, because they know that if they do light it, everyone in the entire galaxy within 10,000 light years will die. So I think Lieutenant Williams' behavior there is just kind of disgusting, and it doesn't really make much sense at all. And I think that it's just goes into the whole girl boss thing where they're trying so hard to be tough, to be badass, where they end up not being badass. Whereas Master Chief, he just spews aura. He's just badass by being himself. And so if you really want to sum up the whole disappointment around 343, it's the 3 bonus missions that they released. And going forward into Halo 7, I have no confidence that they're going to be able to turn this ship around. So Asher Sharma, CEO of Xbox, you have 2 choices here, really. We can continue down this path of disappointment with Halo Studios / 343, or we can actually turn a new page like we intended with this whole brand and this whole switch over to Unreal Engine, and we can disband Halo Studios and give the IP to a studio that actually will be faithful to the original work and actually deliver and not just deliver disappointment. I think the only way to do this is to give it to another studio, probably an Eastern studio such as Japan, Korea, China, somewhere over there, or maybe even a European studio, as some of their games have been cooking for a while. But I think American game development is fundamentally flawed, and I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. And we can get philosophical about it for a second if y'all want, because I think it is a direct reflection of American culture right now, which I think is quite toxic, because art is generally reflective of the culture that it is made in. But nonetheless, if Halo is to survive, I think that is the only path forward. Halo Studios and 343, they have shown over time that they just are not capable of delivering, and I don't think they have the talent to deliver. I'm seriously doubting their ability to really do anything right. I have zero faith. And as I see other games out there that I'm really falling in love with and getting interested in, Halo is kind of starting to take a back seat. And so that's what I think. That's what I think the path forward should be for Halo. And hopefully they can turn it around, but I wouldn't hold your breath. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.